الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سل بني إسرائيل كم آتيناهم من آية بينة
بني إسرائيل كم آتيناهم من آية.
So meme mushaddad and noon mushaddad, meaning noon and meme, when they have shed on them, you have to do ghunna on them. Ghunna means to nasalize. So sal bani Israel kam ataynahum min ayatin bayyinah.
بني إسرائيل كم آتيناهم من آية بينة.
Sal means to ask. Is'al and sal, they're both used. Generally, by rule, it should be is'al, and there are several places in the Quran where is'al is used. But sal is also used. Any word which is a little bit frequently used, Quran would make it easy, and languages tend to do that, so that people would say the word the way they want to say it. So sal, and there are different dialects as well. So remember, whenever you find something in Quran, that is the rule. And you apply everything according to that. The rule of grammar are always derived from the text. So if they don't follow those rules, the rules are derived from the text. You can't have it other way. And it's true for all languages. Okay, so the ruling of tajweed, the ruling of grammar, sarf, they are all derived, inferred, looking back. Okay, so Quran is the ultimate source to derive ruling from. And obviously, prehistoric, pre-Islamic poetry as well. And they use it. So Sal asked, Bani, what was the actual word, Bani? Ibn is singular. Is that singular? It is plural. What, broken or sound? Sound. So normally it should be Banina, Banuna. So where's that noon gone? Because it has been idafa. When you have the possessive case, genitive case, you just drop that noon. That's why Yadani Abi Lahab becomes Yada Abi Lahab. Banina Israel becomes Bani Israel. You drop that. That tanween. So Bani, children. Israel, what was the breakup of Israel? The two words, Isra and Il from Hebrew. So the meaning was, what is Isra? What does Isra mean? Slave. Il for Allah in Hebrew. So Israel, slave of Allah. What is that in Arabic? Abdullah. So he was Abdullah. Okay. So Bani Israel, children of Abdullah. Abdullah was his title, as opposed to, so his agnomen, or kunya we call it. Kam, this kam is kam khabariya, not question. How many? Many, so many, many. Atayna, we gave whom, them, min, from, ayatin, sign, bayyina, it should be singular sign, clear evidence. And when you, although a singular word, when you have come before that, it means how many signs we did. In English, you would use as plural. That's why signs is more appropriate here because of come. But in Arabic, you would use singular. That's the style. Every language has different style. So ask the people of the children of Bani Israel, children of Israel, how many evidences we gave them. Like, we've been going through that for the last, maybe 6-7 months, one after other, how they were delivered from the clutches of Pharaoh, how then they had this, proper place to live in the open field with the shade of the clouds, and they had food coming from the heavens, roasted birds they could have without any trouble. They could just take them and roast and cook them, and sweet dish with that. And they needed water, so they had 12 fountains for 12 tribes. So everything was given to them one after the other. They kept seeing the signs, all those signs. So ask Bani Israel, how many signs we have given them? Clear proofs. so that they should believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What then happened? وَمَن يُبَدِّلْ نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ مِن بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَتْهُ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ شَدِيدُ الْعِقَابِ.
من يبدل نعمة الله من بعد ما جاءته الله شديد العقاب.
وَمَن, and man is whoever, whoever. يُبَدِّل, we use that in our language, tabdil, baddala yubaddilu tabdilan, to tabdil. Whoever would tabdil, would change, exchange, ni'mah, favor, Allahi, of Allah. You know this construction when you have mudaf, when the possessive case, there's of hidden there, okay? Or apostrophe S. So Allah's favor or favor of Allah. That is why you see, for Allah with a kasra at the end, the zair at the end means of Allah. Favors of Allah, favor of Allah, or blessing of Allah. Min ba'di, after what? Ma is of different types. So this is ma mawsula. Ma ja'athu, whatever came to them, to him. فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ شَدِيدُ الْعِقَابِ. So indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is shadeed. Again, mudaf ilayh. Shadidul iqab. Shadid of iqab. Iqab is penalty, punishment. So Allah is severe in that. زين للذين كفروا الحياة الدنيا. So remember, that is always pronounced with the tip of the tongue touching here. So there should be no with there. That's Z sound. زين is Z. زين للذين كفروا الحياة الدنيا ويسخرون من الذين آمنوا. زين, you know, this zina. We know we use in our languages as well, zina. So zuyina, someone has been made attractive. Someone has been beautified. So lilladina, for those people who did kafaru, who did what? They rejected, they disbelieved. For them, something has been made very attractive, very beautiful. So the world, which is hayat ad-dunya, this worldly life of this world has been made very beautiful for the people who rejected, who do not believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because this dunya is paradise for them. Ad-dunya sijnul mu'min wa jannatul kafir. This is prison for the believers, and it is actually a paradise for the people who do not believe in life hereafter, who reject Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But this is the only abode. That's the only fun they're having. The world, the paradise should be what? For short while or forever? So although Rasulullah, the wisdom of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is amazing. He used this world as a paradise for the disbeliever. And someone says, oh, they are lucky they got this paradise. No, they're not lucky. This is so temporary abode. To have a paradise for that short while, I mean, you could be the richest person for one day, and rest of the life you will be a beggar. Or you could on average be above average all along, and that's not going to end ever. And I'm not even comparing that, but I'm saying even if that was the case, what would you prefer? To be king for one day and literally in prison all the rest of their life for 70 years, 80 years, 90 years? There's one day kingdom and rest of the time you'll be begging. Or you just have average, decent life for 70 years. What would you choose? Even for that, from that. It doesn't make any sense to have paradise here. It doesn't make sense because at the cost of your life hereafter. Because it's going to finish. Whatever kingdom you create is not going to last long for you. It may continue until the end of time, but for your heirs, for your family, for your children. So you've built this big kingdom of whatever sort. And Michael Jackson built what is called paradise. What is it called? Land. Netherlands. Neverland. Disney, Neverland. Neverland. Oh, it is Neverland. You can't land on that. He didn't. Landed elsewhere. Whose benefit is that for? So it's only a very temporary abode. So it shouldn't get beguiled by shaitan or the nafs's idea. وَيَسْخَرُونَ مِنَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. And يَسْخَرُونَ, they mock. Who? مِنَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. They do mockery of the people who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Because their life has become so attractive to them. They're so engrossed in this material world that they look at poor people and say, so what do you have? That is why they said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you know what? If you want us to come and speak to you, and we could do that, dedicated time for us. A day when no poor is around, no slave is around, no lowly person is around. We would rather be one-to-one with you. If you do that, then we are happy to do it. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, actually, he's so kind and so generous, mercy to whole humanity. So he said, okay, let's do it. And that's when he got them in this gathering. And this Abdullah ibn Maktoum, radiallahu ta'ala, a blind companion, he came. And obviously he couldn't see very clearly. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was engaged in this discussion with the leaders of Quraysh, the leaders. So he didn't like Abdullah disturbing at that point. So he was like, he didn't say Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was at the top of his character. He didn't say anything, but he was like a little bit, why is Abdullah in his mind disturbing my conversation with these people? Perhaps they may come to Islam and it will be a lot easier for everyone. And obviously Abdullah didn't know, but he kept asking every so often, Ya Rasulullah, I've got, please, can I have a question? Can I have some time of, I need. Although he could figure out that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is in some conversation, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam only felt a little bit, uneasy with that, a little bit grimace, a little bit like upset on his face. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Abasa wa tawalla." That surah is revealed for that. So don't do that, because these people who are taking special time, they are not sincere in their acquiring the knowledge. The one who is so dedicated and willing to come and spend time with you and learn some deen, he deserves more respect. He deserves to be paid attention to. So, but Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so their attitude is this: we want one-to-one session. Many a time we do the same, one-to-one, because my importance, personal importance. Yeah, if it is really a very serious matter that should not be disclosed to anyone, alhamdulillah, that's when you need it. No, I've got completely common general thing. So why am I asking that specific question on a specific time, taking that off someone's busy time, whether they're doing some dhikr or whatever, walking here and there, just to feel special. See, I have one-to-one relationship with Ustad, with Sheikh, with celebrity, with this leader, political leader. I call them straight away and then I get the message back. And I just seek pride in that. All arrogance. It's all feeding to our own nafs and making it go worse and worse and worse. Because this is not the idea. There's nothing that would help except taqwa. And this is against taqwa. Fame, name, this connection, feeling good about all of that. So materialism is a clear warning from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to those who seek pride on the brute economic strength, because it is Allah who gives to whom He wills without measure. So how could you be proud about your wealth, about your beauty, about your status of any sort, about your skills? I got admission in this Cambridge. Ooh, you know what? I am something above and beyond anyone in my family, because no one ever been to Cambridge. There I am. Initially it'll be humble, slowly it'll be like this, and slowly like this. And now my neck doesn't tend to flex at all, because I've got this collarbone stuck here. That happens. That happens a lot. May Allah save us all from there. That's why you stay with the teacher. The teacher who would throttle you every so often metaphorically. A teacher that would punch you when you're trying to swerve away. That could be your father, if you have that relationship with him. Could be your uncle, your friend, whoever. But has to be there who you let throttle you, metaphorically. So your ego is being tamed every so often. So this is what the role of Sheikh is, to show you the mirror at the time when you feel quite up, even spiritually. You've done something amazing. For example, they get this, I've got this amazing dream. I saw Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in my dream for last 3 years, and you're crying and you feel, oh, I'm above the moon, I'm everywhere, this and this. And you feel the overjoys or whatever. And the Shaykh would say, don't worry, nothing significant. There's nothing, no impression, and there's no hints. It will just all get better. But it's still pious. And you feel, oh, I thought it was very good. It's a good dream, but don't worry, don't take too much notice of that. And they say, oh, okay, fine. That's why you need to get sorted out. Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala, he said, anyone who takes a Muslim man or woman low in status, the Muslim, he was low in status, because of his or her hunger, thinking that hungry man, he's low in the status. Oh, you nange bhuke, we say, tum to bhuke nange ho, tumhare paas kya hai? How come you are showing me anything? What have you got to? Allah Almighty will put him to disgrace before a gathering of all on the day of judgment, before that, from the first to the last. And anyone who falsely accuses a Muslim man or woman of a weakness, Allah Almighty would put him on a high mount until he falsifies himself. He'll be seen as weak as the first one. So you look at someone who's stuttering, can't speak properly, you make mockery of that. Someone who's got some disability and you're mocking him for that. Worse of the sins. All of those stern warnings. والذين اتقوا فوقهم يوم القيامة. And those والذين, and those people who اتقوا, those who adopted taqwa, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فوقهم, they are above them, above this believer. يوم القيامة, on the day of judgment. You think they are lowly? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, رُبَّ أَشْعَثْ أَغْبَرْ. Many a full of dust, disheveled, unkempt, because of not having any provision, like, poorly, looking very needy and completely, emaciated maybe for not having food for days. So weak people, poor, needy people. Many of them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in this hadith, Aghbar, they've got ghubar on their body. Ash'ad, they're disheveled, they haven't got anything to gel their hair, put oil to their hairs. Madfu'un bil bab, they'll be pushed away from the door. If they come and knock at the door, they are not invited in. They've never been, come on and sit inside, I will give you food. I want to host you. Means they're so low considered in the society, they're considered so low that no one would, like, someone who's a little bit decent in a proper clothing, you just come, they just say, hello, I just need a glass of water. Even if you say that, they say, please come in, I get you. I just needed some water for my car. Hang on, yeah, that's fine, no problem, come on in. Do you want a cup of tea? Because of the way he's dressed up, the way he looks, unless you suspect that he may be whatever these days, it's all crazy, isn't it? I mean, you are not of any worth in the society. Then people would push you away. I said, but they are such people, they are so much, because of their piety, they're connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, such that if they were to take oath in the name of Allah, Allah would do that. If they say, this is morning, Allah would make it morning. Allah would turn it into morning for them. If they say this is gold, Allah would make it into gold. Such is their status. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the understanding of not even ever belittling such people. والله يرزق من يشاء بغير حساب.
والله يرزق من يشاء بغير حساب.
Wallahu, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yarzuq, He provides. Man yasha, He gives rizq to whoever He wills. بغير hisab, without any account. Unlimited, however He wants. This is Allah's decision. Allah does it. When that is the case, so if Allah is giving more or less, this is Allah's distribution. How dare you question it and think that someone is poor and I am not rich enough or I am too rich? Either way, don't look down upon people and don't feel that, we only have this car, they have that car. We have got that small house and they've got that house. Looking at others, wow, they've got this. No, never look above. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wasn't rich, he was poor. But he adopted that poverty because poverty keeps you humble and low rather than thinking big and getting big-headed. And that kills your ego, that's not ego, I mean your iman. So make sure that we're not running after that. كان الناس أمة واحدة فبعث الله النبيين مبشرين ومنذرين. فبعث الله النبيين مبشرين ومنذرين. There's mushaddad, noon mushaddad, ghunna. فبعث الله, there's ghunna. فبعث الله النبيين مبشرين ومنذرين. فبعث الله النبيين مبشرين ومنذرين. So كان الناس, so was, كان means people were, mankind were, ummatan wahida, they were a single nation, all together. So فبعث الله, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent in them an-nabiyyin, the prophets, mubashirin, who were giving the good tidings, wa munzirin, and who were warning them. So these are the prophets. They were sent to them. وأنزل معهم الكتاب بالحق. And anzala, he revealed, he sent, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent, ma'ahum, with them. With who? With prophets. With them, al-kitab, the book, bil-haq, in truth. In true sense, definitely. لِيَحْكُمَ, so that they do the hukm, they do the decision making, judging. They would judge them. Based on what? Among people, based on this book, they would judge. They would judge the people with the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. بَيْنَ النَّاسِ, among the people. فِيمَا, in whatever, اختلفوا فيه, they differ in, wherever they differ in disputes, all the disputes, the prophets would sort it out based on what the book says. The ruling would come from the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَا اخْتَلَفَ فِيهِ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ أُوتُوهُ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَتْهُمُ الْبَيِّنَاتُ بَغْيًا بَيْنَهُمْ. وَمَا اخْتَلَفَ. Remember I mentioned last week, when you have ma in hal, and then you have, it is subsequently followed by illa. In the same ayat, you have illa. So generally, this means no. Like as a negation, a way of negation. Negation, except. It's a way of saying. So wama ikhtalafa. They did not differ. Wama, they did not ikhtalafa, differ. Fihi, in this, in the matter, in deen. Illa alladhina, except those who they were given min ba'di, from what came to them, ja'athum al-bayyinat, when they already got the bayyinat, the proofs, they were given this proof, and they started disputing. Baghyan baynahum, among them, they started showing the animosity. Baghyan is rebellion, baghi, to rebel. to have animosity, jealousy, whatever. So none differed over the scripture except those who were given it after the clear proofs came to them out of jealous animosity among themselves, because they are not connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَهَدَى اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لِمَا اخْتَلَفُوا فِيهِ مِنَ الْحَقِّ بِإِذْنِهِ.
وَهَدَى اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لِمَا اخْتَلَفُوا فِيهِ مِنَ الْحَقِّ بِإِذْنِهِ.
So, Hadallahu, Allah guided them. Allah guided those, alladhina, those who amanu, believed, limakhtalafu fi, about what they differed among themselves, min al-haqqi bi-idhni, from the truth, bi-idhni, with Allah's permission. Means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided those who believed to the truth concerning that over which they differed by His permission. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided those. So if you truly believe and there's difference of opinion and issues, you would get to the truth provided you have piety. You stay connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And piety dictates that what is the bottom line? You do not disobey Allah. You do not go against Allah's wish, Allah's command, Allah's desires, Allah's idea. So the question shouldn't be, is it permissible or not? That's not right question. For a believing person, the question should be, is this something which would bring me close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Even if it's permissible, I wouldn't do that provided, unless it brings me close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there are many things which are permissible. Should we do it? For example, if I don't cover my head while reciting Quran, would I be sinful? No. Is it permissible to not cover your head? It is permissible. If you had no headgear and you prayed, is it permissible? It is permissible. Even if you're imam and you did not have headgear, no topi, no turban, nothing, is your prayer valid? Valid. No sin. You would not be sinful. So you should ask, why then you ask us to put cap on? Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam never prayed normally without covering his blessed head, with turban or with whatever. Obviously, unless he's in Hajj, where you can't cover your head in ihram. So what would bring you closer? This is permissible, and this is sunnah. This is the way of my Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That would give you extra points. That wouldn't give you anything, even if it doesn't give you any sin, but no points. In any game that you play, let me just, rather than picking up some coins from here and there, I'm just going to pick this stone instead, or I won't pick any coin. Would you do that ever? Let me not get any coins. Why? Because I don't need it. It's not fard in the game. I need to just keep going on my journey. It's not fard. It's not must. If they say, oh, you have to take all of them, that's when you do it. So why do you take extra points? Why do you go for Kings to Cambridge? Is it fard? But you want to get the best and the best and the best, which is perfectly fine. How come when it comes to deen, we don't see it? After a few years, my phone is getting a little bit weak, and everyone got upgraded. Why do you need to upgrade it? As long as it's working, should be okay. Now I want new pair of slippers, shoes, glasses, this and that. Why? It's not giving you any trouble. In a sense that it is still working. Everyone got it, so that's why. So in dunya, I keep getting upgraded. In deen, not interested in any upgrade. I would just rather be bare minimum. 33 marks or D grade, I'm happy with it. In deen, if I had 3 A's and 2 B, no, I want to take a gap year. Why I want to take a gap year? So that I can improve it. SubhanAllah, it's good. For deen, no upgrades, no gap year, nothing. I would just do as little as possible. So if you just allow me, oh Sheikh, oh Mufti, Google from wherever you are, to only do 1 rakat for each prayer, I would do that. If you get the fatwa, let's go for 1 rakat. What can you do? And people do that for witr, by the way. Rather than 3, 1 witr. And then this scholarly opinion here. But for those who follow that school, they take easy bit from there, easy bit from there, easy bit, and they've got their own easy stuff. And they feel very comfortable. Horrible. والله يهدي من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم.
والله يهدي من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم.
And Allah Yahdi means guide. Allah guides man yasha, whoever He wills, ila, towards Sirat means path. Yeah. Mustaqim, straight path. Allah guides people to straight path. Just one point on this and we finish. Ummah. So the word ummah is kana nasu ummatan wahida. People were one nation. What does that mean? Imam Raghib al-Asfahani, rahmatullahi alayh, in his mufradat, he's the words of Quran and then described them in the meaning. He said in his mufradat that the word ummah signifies a set of people gathered together for reason of faith, time, or place, because they're together at the same time. This is ummah. We're all together in the same place for a good reason, similar reason. Imam Raghib then said this element of unicity could be that of beliefs and ideas, or that of presence in a geographical area at a given time, or that of heredity, language, color, or its likes. And you could be together as ummah based on where you are, which country you are in. But this ummah, the Quran mentioned, in this sense, what does that mean? So the sense of the statement is that there was a time when all human beings used to be a composite group. They were all together, whole humanity. Obviously, we know that was. When was that? Two stages, two possibilities. One is when Adam alayhi salam and his children descended in the world and they had it. Unity of ideas and beliefs was the most important thing. If you look at that, and when they differed, what did they differ in? In unity and in their belief and in connection with regards to the tenets of the teachings of the Prophet of the time. So Adam alayhi salam, he had his children, they were all together on the same path. And then they started differing. This is shaitan and nafs playing up. Habil and Qabil, that was the first difference. Started getting jealous of his own brother. This is what happened to dunya. The reason was dunya. Dunya means materialism. Whatever is in the world, whatever is attractive. So why did he? I want to marry this girl. Why Habil, my younger brother, is getting married to this one? Competition. I want to get my sacrifice accepted so that I get the title that I've got it as well. My brother's got it, I haven't, because he was much sincere to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and I wasn't. So what do I do? This man, my younger brother, only very little difference. He is the one who is excelling in everything. You know what? I must get rid of him. That's why he killed him. His true brother, he killed. Allah mentioned the story in the Quran about this. And we'll come to that whenever we come to that. So that's what happened when you are so crazy about materialism. This world, no limit. You can go to extents where you can't even imagine when you started here. Slowly and slowly deviating from the track. Let's go a little bit, completely out. So Ubay ibn Ka'ab and Zayd ibn Abdullah ibn Zayd, this companion, they said the period refers to the period of Azal. Azal, as in the long time, eternity without beginning. When the spirits of all human beings were created and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, am I not your Lord? You remember, Alastu bi Rabbikum? I think it came again recently, maybe last week or whenever. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought forth everyone in a prototype, in a very small microscopic, whichever level. We were all gathered, coming out of the loin of Adam alayhi salam. Everyone was scattered here, like in that plain, and some say that was the plain of Arafat. That's why it's called, this is one of the reasons it's being called Arafat, as a way we can do the meeting, acquaintance. We saw Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Alastu bi Rabbikum? Am I not your Lord? So we all said, Ya Allah, yes, Bala. Why not? Shahidina. We testify to it. So we all have spoken to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we responded to that. And that is why the day we die, the second we die, you would not need anyone to come and tell, oh, by the way, now you know which religion was true? Whether you believe in Allah or not, it would just be all clear. It is as though you were there in this open ground. you saw Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or heard Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, am I not your Lord? We said yes. And then Allah gave us guidance how to work in the world. And then fast forward to my death. What happened? As though I was sleeping and I just woke up, didn't get enough sleep. And I woken up and I know, my goodness, I just came to the world saying to my Lord that you are my Lord, and I would exactly follow what your prophets would tell me. And what have I done? Oh my goodness, I knew it and I ruined it. Oh my goodness. And people would just bite on their fingers, not just the nails, but even the fingertips. They would not feel the pain because so much anxiety about that. That is why they would say, Ya Allah, give us one chance, wallahi. You fill the earth with gold and we will spend all of that in your path. Here, we can't even give £5 from your pocket. If you're crisp, the fries from your fish and fries or chicken chips, your brother has taken, the younger sister has taken a little bit here, father has taken, why are you taking it from me? You get upset about that. You can't do that much charity to your own father who brought it for you. Or your siblings. And you fight over this. It was my ice cream I left from last night. I couldn't complete. I wanted to finish it today. And the fight is carrying on. And you would say, whole earth filled with gold, I would donate immediately everything to you, Allah, to come to Jannah. Give me one chance. But no chance. No chance whatsoever. So we said, yes, you are. Abdullah ibn Abbas said, the period of this unity of belief dates back to the time when Sayyidina Adam salam came to this world with his wife, and they had children, which they just multiplied, and all of them believed in the religion of Adam salam and followed his teaching, especially the Tawheed. All of them except Qabil, the Cain, everyone was obedient. He was the one who then started going against, and obviously then subsequently people. We leave it there, inshallah ta'ala, because there's some discussion to be had with that. May Allah give us tawfiq. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.